What is up, guys? It is Sam, the Star Wars man. Welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Today I want to talk a little bit more about some of the state of the game that I've seen a lot of feedback, and I've been thinking about a lot regarding Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I'm kind of like still early game, but slowly creeping towards the mid game. We're at 3.2 or almost 3.2 million galactic power. Getting close to, or not close, close-ish to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, farming his fragments in the Journey Guide event. But I think one thing that's very interesting to me is arguably one of the best things about the game now could potentially become a detriment to the game and the lifelong health of this game. So as you guys know, I'm also a content creator for Raid Shadow Legends. That's the game where I come from. That's where I've been making content for 3 years. And now I'm also starting on the second channel to make content here for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So I'm constantly kind of internally comparing the two games, right? And seeing what do I like about this one? What do I wish one game would bring to the other? So on and so forth. And I think that one of the coolest things that Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes does, and they do it well, is offering catch-up mechanics, right? So if you want to start a free-to-play account in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in 2026, even before you get the Hyperdrive bundle, one of the coolest things that you can do is get Lightspeed tokens. And you can see all of these are ones that I've already done, right? All of these are all champions, maybe with the exception of one, that I have already gotten, and you get them at level 85, Gear Tier 13, 7 stars, and you get, some Zetas and stuff like that. And it's crazy how much value and time and stuff that's just added for free. So what I think is interesting is if you're in the mid game, somewhere, let's say around 4 to 5 million galactic power, I think now more than ever, it would be easier for a new player to catch up to you, especially if they're willing to spend a little bit in the game, because the packs in here are honestly such good value for most of them. The Era bundles are a little bit more aggressively priced, but the Lightspeed bundles are unbelievable, like 5 Relic 7 champions for $48 is pretty crazy. Relic 7 is pretty high. I have the Bad Batch bundle. That one's pretty high. I'm going to get my first Galactic Legend. It's your progress can be so fast and so rapid. With Lightspeed tokens in general is the main thing, but even the Era thing, like you're not that far behind because everyone kind of starts from zero together unless you're spending money on it. And so I think it's interesting that I would argue that, or most people probably argue that the Lightspeed tokens and the Lightspeed bundles and all of the things that CG is offering towards new players is overall a good thing. But I do think that if you're in the mid game, or perhaps just a long-time player, you might feel a little bit shafted. I don't know a better word for it. Where you feel like, man, I worked so hard for this. Like, think of how long it took you to get your bounty hunters to Gear 13 and have all their Zetas. Or I'm trying to think of a better example from the Lightspeed tokens, like your Inquisitors up, right? Like that's not a specific, like a super easy team to get. And I got 5 of them. You know, like that's pretty aggressive free stuff to give to everybody. Think of how much a Grand Inquisitor used to be, how heavy like a Kyrotech investment that is, and now it's just bypassed by new players. So again, it's weird because I'm not complaining, because obviously it's directly benefiting me, but I do think from like a serious gamer, especially someone coming over from Raid, I do think that this is potentially a concern for just like the health. And I'm seeing a lot of feedback of something similar. It's like, hey, if you're a new player, especially if you're a light spender, it's a great time to be in the game. But then I've also seen really negative sides. I mean, it's the same coin, but just the negative side of that same coin, the glass half empty side, is you're kind of being shafted if you're a free-to-play player because there is such good value that you're just missing out on. And the low-spend players are just vastly catching up or passing the free-to-play players. So I think both of things are very interesting, but I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. I do want to kind of talk some more about some of the differences, because I think that Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Raid Shadow Legends are both fascinatingly similar, but also fundamentally different in so many different aspects. And I do think that in terms of value, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has Raid Shadow Legends beat, but I do think there's a lot of areas that Raid Shadow Legends has Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes beat. So that's a topic for another video. But this one has kind of just got me, because we've done a state of the game video before, and I really do like, venting and talking and learning more and more about the game, especially like I read Reddit posts every single day and Discord messages every single day about how people feel in this game about this game. And it is so interesting that there is such a negative effect of such a positive thing, like a net positive feature like the Lightspeed tokens. Anyways, that's just my thoughts for the day. If you guys enjoy listening to me ramble, subscribe to the channel. And if not, I'll still post the video tomorrow.